All right. Hey, there's Brother Jack Dawson. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. And hello, everybody. Boy, we had fun yesterday, I think, and last night for the Super Bowl, and we are in spring training baseball. So good stuff. And we're in 1974. Just do a game here in 1974. So this will be the California Angels versus the Chicago White Sox. Nolan Ryan versus Wilbur Wood. Wilbur Wood, may his memory be eternal. Just lost him. I thought this would be a fun game to do. So let's do it. Let's do it. All right, looking at these lineups first for the California Angels, leading off in center field, Mickey Rivers, batting second at second base, Denny Doyle, batting third in left field, Bobby Valentine, batting cleanup in the designated hitter spot is Frank Robinson, batting fifth at first base, Mike Epstein, batting sixth, third baseman Bob Oliver, batting seventh in right field, Leroy Stanton, batting eighth and catching Ellie Rodriguez, and batting ninth at shortstop Dave Chalk. So both pitchers tonight making their first appearance of the year. For the hometown Chicago White Sox, leading off in right field, Pat Kelly, batting second. Center field, Ken Henderson, batting third at first base, Hall of Famer Dick Allen. Batting cleanup at third base, Bill Melton, batting fifth. Left field, Carlos May, batting sixth, and designated hitter, Hall of Famer Ron Santo. Batting seventh and second base, Jorge Orta. Batting eighth and catching, Ed Herman. And batting ninth at shortstop, the infamous Bucky Dent. Bucky Dent, we are on our way to Comiskey Park. And here we go. And yes, we have the DH on because it is 1974 after all. So let's let the madness begin. And here we are at Comiskey Park. I guess it had a weird infield like that. I don't know. This is one of the parks done by Mike Silva. So we're still in Out of the Park 26, obviously. And we are ready to rock and roll. Let's look at this starting defense here for the Chicago White Sox. Carlos May in left, Ken Henderson in center, Pat Kelly in right, Dick Allen in first, Jorge Orta at second, Bucky Dent at short, Bill Melton at third, Ed Herman catching, and Wilbur Wood of eternal memory on the mound. Leading off here is Mickey Rivers. Let's get underway as we do our little fly around the old ballpark. And 2-2 pitch. And Mickey Rivers swings and misses. This one chasing out of the strike zone. So Wilbur Wood starts the game with the strikeout. Let's make this full screen. There we go. All right, here's Denny Doyle. And let's have a look at Denny Doyle. So for some of these guys, we'll talk about their stats. So Denny Doyle with 3 home runs, 26 ribbies in 1973 for him. Here's the pitch. Doyle, first pitch swinging, and this one hit on the line out into center field. And this would be a base hit. Denny Doyle going for 2. And there we go. So a little juggle. Let's see. Nope, they're going to call it an error on Henderson. So Ken Henderson tries to barehand the ball, and looks like he juggled the ball. So score that E8. So single and an error. And Denny Doyle is in scoring position here for the California Angels with 1 down. And here's Bobby Valentine. Of course, we all know Bobby Valentine as a manager, but also a player. So a home run, 13 ribbies, a 302 average for him in 1973. 1974 action here in Out of the Park baseball. Wood with a check of the runner. Denny Doyle with decent speed. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Swung on and line to right. And this one's going to get down. Kelly unable to make the play. Drops the ball. And that's going to be another error on the Chicago White Sox. Denny Doyle moved to third on the play. Bobby Valentine in first. Speed at the corners. And here comes the judge, Frank Robinson. So the White Sox, 2 miscues here in the top of the first inning. So for Robinson in 1973, 30 home runs, 97 ribbies, and a 266 average. Wilbur Wood out of the stretch, full count, and Robinson swings. This one could be a gap or out towards center field. And no, nice catch out there by Henderson. Doyle tags, played the plate, not in time. And the California Angels get on the board here in the top of the first inning. It's a close play there, but Ed Herman's tag just about a millisecond too late. Bobby Valentine on at first. 2 down here in the top of the first at Comiskey Park. 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss by Mike Epstein. And that does it. So Wilbur Wood coming in there with the hammer. So the 2 errors helped to lead to a run for the California Angels. And we go to the bottom of the first inning. It's the Angels 1 and the White Sox coming to bat. Starting defense for the Angels in left field, Bobby Valentine. In center, Mickey Rivers. And in right, Leroy Stanton. From first to third, Mike Epstein, Denny Doyle, Dave Chalk, Bob Oliver. Ellie Rodriguez is behind the dish. And on the mound is the Ryan Express. Look out, Ryan Express. So in 1973 for these Angels, 21 wins, 16 losses, 1 save, 383 strikeouts, 162 walks in 362 innings pitched. Leading it off here, Pat Kelly, good contact hitter here in 1973. Pat Kelly with a 280 average, a home run, 44 ribbies for him. Nolan Ryan into the wind, and the 0-2 pitch to Pat Kelly. Kelly swings and a miss, and Nolan Ryan coming with the gas. So 1 up, 1 down now for Ken Henderson. Henderson settles in the box. And pretty decent power here. At least back in 1972, had a little fall off in 73, but in 72, he had 18 home runs, 51 ribbies. Still managed 6 home runs and 32 RBI for the Chicago White Sox while hitting .260. All right, 1 away, 1-0, Angels lead. Here's the pitch. Henderson cuts in the first pitch. This one popped high on the shallow infield, out to short, and no problem there for Dave Chalk as he makes the grab. So 2 up, 2 down here for the Chicago White Sox. It brings up Dick Allen, Hall of Fame class of 2025. 2-2 pitch, may his memory be eternal. Allen swings, driven deep to right field. Open the window, Aunt Minnie. And this one just getting over the fence. And just like that, Dick Allen going the other way ties it up. So the White Sox after 2 outs. So let's have another look at that play. 91 off the bat of Allen. Nice arcing shot there. And there we go, just over the fence. So you can see from that fence that they were moved in a bit, the original Comiskey, a bit deeper. All right. And sorry for the little cut out there. That's what Out of the Park does. All right, 1-1, 2 down, bottom of the first. And Bill Milton slides into the box here. 20 home runs, 87 ribbies, a .277 average in 1973. Ryan peers in, has the sign from Ellie Rodriguez, toes the rubber in the 2-1 pitch. Mountain swings, driven high to left field. Does it have the distance? Aunt Minnie is busy today, so she might just keep the window open, not sure. But coming around here is Melton. So that one on the curveball that just hung up there, and that one almost needed a passport. So gotta look at homers, because we all love home runs. Not as much as triples, mind you, but we do love them. And there we go. 106 miles an hour for Melton. 3 rows back into left center field. So touch them all, Bill Melton. On the hanging curveball by Nolan Ryan in this game, 2-1. Carlos May looking to keep things going here for the White Sox in the bottom of the first inning. So for Carlos May in 1973, 20 home runs, 96 runs batted in, and a .268 average. Ryan looking a little bit upset with himself. A 1-2 pitch to Carlos May. And this one inside, swing and a miss. Strike 3. That time the curveball doing what it was supposed to do. But 2 runs for Chicago, 2 hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. We go to the top of the second. The White Sox lead the Angels 2-1. And we'll have Oliver, Stanton, and Rodriguez due up for the angelic ones. All right, Bob Oliver, looking at his numbers in 1973, 18 home runs, 89 runs batted in, 265 average. Wilbur Wood with 2 strikeouts, to his credit. The 1-0 pitch on the way. Cut on by Oliver, driven to left. This gets down for a base hit. So California with its second hit of the game. And a runner on now for Leroy Stanton. Stanton batting in the number 7 slot in 1973, 8 homers, 34 ribbies, a 235 average. Oliver sometimes speed out there at first. 2-1 pitch, and he bluffed going, but soft liner right to first, and Dick Allen will let it land in his glove for out number 1. All right, here's the catcher now, Ellie Rodriguez. Here's the pitch. The runner goes. The throw down, they got him dead to rights. They got him dead to rights. So Oliver trying to do his Ty Cobb imitation. Didn't quite work that time. So 2 down, bases empty. Rodriguez back in there. Here's the 0-1 delivery. Rodriguez swings, little tapper to short. Textbook 6-3 put out as Bucky Dent is up with it. So the Angels get a hit, and the caught stealing erases that runner. We go to the bottom of the second inning. The Angels trailing the White Sox 2-1 here at Comiskey Park. So I don't know when Disco Demolition Night was, but this infield was funny, but Mike makes no mistakes. So I have to look at some pictures of Comiskey in 1974. All right, it will be Ron Santo, Jorge Huerta, and Ed Herman due up for the Palehoes. Nolan Ryan with 2 strikeouts thus far has given up 2 dingers. Here's the pitch. Santo, 1 hopper over there to third base. Long throw across the diamond from Bob Oliver. And 1 up, 1 down. Here's Jorge Huerta. So Huerta batting in the 7 slot here. Huerta with 6 home runs, 40 ribbies, a 266 average. Ryan Express 3-1. Huerta, good eye, lets that one, that fastball just missing a bit inside. So runner on now. Here's Ed Herman. And there we go. Disco Demolition was 1979, because I was wondering, because the field was really messed up. Good evening, Enzo. So I thought that's what this was. This must have just been a different sort of carpet that they used maybe in Comiskey in 1974, because Mike doesn't make mistakes on these. So again, this ballpark, one of the great ballparks made by Mike Silva. I think I counted 322 ballparks done by Mike, which is incredible. All right, here we go. Here's Ed Herman, no relation to the actor Ed Herman, as far as I know. And decent power, 1973, 10 homers, 39 ribbies, 224 average. So this is the game I wanted to get to last night in our about aggregate of 12 hours of broadcast. We never did get to Out of the Park. We had a great chin wag, and we had Tim on here, and we had Robert. All right, Huerta, decent lead off of first. Here's the pitch. Herman swings, bouncer to short, 6-4, but they're not going to turn to get it to 3. By the way, happy first day of spring training to everybody. 2 down, Ed Herman on the fielder's choice. And here is Bucky Dent. Bucky Dent, not quite Bucky F. Dent yet. The 1-2 pitch. Dent swings, hard ground ball to second. This should end the inning, and it will not. It will not. Danny Doyle rushes the throw, and my goodness gracious, there we go. So an error by the California Angels. 3 errors in this game. This one looking more like a dead ball affair than something from the 1970s. All right, Pat Kelly in there now. We're back at the top of the order. Kelly, nothing for 1. The count 0-2, and Pat Kelly is dispatched on the strikeout fastball. Chicago fails to capitalize, and we will head to the top of the 3rd inning, 2-1. White Sox lead the Angels here in 1974. All right, we will have Dave Chalk, and then we go back to the top of the order for California. Mickey Rivers and Denny Doyle. Count even, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Wood deals. Swung on. This one blasted out to left. Will it have the distance? Look out, Aunt Minnie. There's another one for you. This one looks like it bounced off the crock pot there. And California ties it up in the long ball, 2-2. Dave Chalk. That knuckle curve by Wilbur Wood got his money's worth there. Let's have a look here. And 108 miles an hour off the bat. And there we go. So touch them all, number 7, Dave Chalk. So again, the uniforms also done by Mike Silva. Good stuffies. All right, here's Mickey Rivers. Mickey Rivers, nothing for 1 in the game. So the long ball playing a part in today's festivities thus far. 2-2 pitch. Mickey Rivers swings, roller up the first base line, and taking it to the bag himself is Dick Allen. So 1 down here, top of the 3rd, and Denny Doyle, who's 1 for 1. Here's the pitch. Doyle swings, little nubber. Doyle's going to beat this one out for an infield hit. So running through that strange-looking carpet thing there, and there's Denny Doyle at first. All right, here's Bobby Valentine. And there goes the runner. The throw down, the head first slide, the tag, and Denny Doyle with an excellent jump picks up the stolen base. So California with 1 down and a runner in scoring position, already tying it up here on the long ball by Dave Chalk. And the pitch to Bobby Valentine. The count, 1 ball, no strikes. Reached an error last time. Line drive, base hit into left field. Little soft liner. Doyle had to wait to see whether that was going to be caught. All right, runners at the corners, and here come the judge. Flew out last time up. Squibbered a short, and they're just going to get the out at first. All right, Denny Doyle comes in to score. California now leads this one 3-2, and here's Mike Epstein. Epstein, nothing in 1 attempt thus far. And this one drilled out to center, sinking liner, but Henderson making the nice catch. But 2 runs for California, 3 hits. There were no errors and a runner left on. We head to the bottom of the 3rd inning. The California Angels lead the Chicago White Sox 3-2. Ken Henderson, Dick Allen, and Bill Melton due up for the White Sox. So home runs in this game thus far. 1 by Dave Chalk, and for the White Sox, Dick Allen and Bill Melton, back-to-back dingers for them. Ken Henderson, nothing for 1. Count even, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Swing and a miss, and a little fastball there by Nolan Ryan. That'll be his 4th strikeout of the game. Here's Dick Allen. Homered his last time up. 1-2 pitch. Oh, late swing on that one. So curveball coming inside. So quickly 2 down, and here comes Bill Melton, also homered his last time up. 0-2 pitch. Melton chases outside, and Ryan making great use of that arsenal of pitches he has. No runs, no hits, no errors. We go to the top of the 4th inning. California leading Chicago 3-2. Oliver Stanton and Rodriguez due up for the Angels. Wilbur Wood with 2 strikeouts. Knuckleballer deals. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Oliver swings, and hard ground ball past second into right field for a base hit. So Bob Oliver holds first. Here comes Leroy Stanton. He is nothing for 1. Count even at 2. Stanton lofts this one to left. Coming in, down and to his right is Carlos May, and he will make the grab. So 1 down for Ellie Rodriguez. Rodriguez nothing for 1. Count even, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Rodriguez swings, and this one fisted out into right field. Not a problem for Pat Kelly, as he will snag it for the 2nd out of the game. 2nd out of the inning, I should say. And there is cousin Ken Castro. So, Ken, we never did get to our 19th century Strat Max game. We had Robert and Tim on and talked about everything from PEDs to God knows what, but it's great to see you. And I guess you're not minding a little bit more modern baseball on here since you're playing it too. It's great to see you, cuz. All right. So here's Dave Chalk homered in this game. And I'm just curious here. I'm going to look at Chalk's numbers for 1973. So he had hit 6 in 1973 and so far has 1 here in 74. He says, no worries. But I do want to test it out. I want to see how the game does with 19th century. All right, Wilbur Wood now peers in, has the side from Ed Herman. Bob Oliver on at first, top of the 4th. Angels lead the White Sox 3-2 here in 1974. 1-2 pitch on the way. Chalk swings, and this one, little bouncer to short, and they're going to take the first exit there. Score that one, 6-4. Side retired. The Angels strand a runner. We go to the bottom of the 4th. It's 3-2. Carlos May, Ron Santo, and Jorge Orta do up. I know a lot of people will say George Orta, but I like to respect the language when I can. So Jorge Orta. All right, here's Carlos May. He has nothing for 1. Here's the 1-2 pitch on the way. Swing and a miss, and there's a fastball. 99 on the gun that time for Nolan Ryan. Strikeout number 7. Sure, we can test it. Absolutely. I think it'll be kind of fun. The only time I've seen anybody roll a cards and dice game on here, 19th century, was Dave Gardner. I think he was doing the 1899 Cleveland Spiders. So, I think it'll be fun to do it. All right, here is Ron Santo. Not used to seeing Ron Santo playing for the Southsiders. There's Hall of Fame third baseman, most associated with the Chicago Cubs. Santo, nothing for 1 down, count, no balls, 2 strikes. Santo, swing and a miss. Another fastball. Ryan is ratcheting it up. That one, 98 on the gun. And that is the 8th K for the Ryan Express. Stake to a 3-2 lead. Is that all Ryan is going to need here? All right, here's Jorge Orta now. 1-0, walked the last time up. Orta swings and roller to short. And up with that ball, Dave Chalk had plenty of time to get that one. So the White Sox go 1-2-3, and we head to the top of the 5th inning. The Angels lead the White Sox here in 1974, 3-2. And we're back at the top of the order. Mickey Rivers, Denny Doyle, Bobby Valentine for the California Angels. 2-0 pitch. Wilbur Wood lets it go. This one lifted out into right field. Easy deal there for Pat Kelly, reeling it in. Chris Delaware had a Strat dead ball cards and dice some years back, maybe 8 years ago. I do remember that because I know that Chris is a Pirate fan, and I also know that he's a big fan of the 1910s Philadelphia A's, and Chris's favorite player on that team, Rube Oldring. I don't know. I know he's lower, slower board gamer now. I'm not sure if he's still broadcasting or not because he changed the name of his channel, or it's been ages. I know he took some time off, but Chris, what a great guy. What a gentleman. Love to have Chris on sometime. It sure was a great project. I do remember that, Ken. But yeah, the 19th century thing. But again, you and I know 19th century just doesn't get a lot of love anyhow, which is kind of a shame. So let's see, maybe after this game we'll have a little fun. I don't know, 10-18, we'll see. If you're not here, I'm not going to do it. I'll have to do it on a night maybe that if you're going to be around a little while, because you are the expert. All right, here is Denny Doyle now. Perfect 2 for 2 for him today. 0-2 pitch. And Doyle, that was a knee buckler, knuckle curve there by Wilbur Wood. K number 3 for him. So 2 down, and here's Bobby Valentine, 1 for 2. He's ahead in the count 2-0. Valentine swings, roller to short, tearing down the line, but no problem. Bucky Dent will get the 6-3 put out. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on. Bottom of the 5th. Angels still lead the White Sox 3-2. All right, Ed Herman, Bucky Dent, Pat Kelly due up for the Southsiders. 1-2 pitch. Herman, late swing on that one. Curveball. Ryan, that one in and off the plate. And Herman chasing. The White Sox may be getting a little bit frustrated now. Nolan Ryan looking for strikeout number 10. Here's Bucky Dent now. 1-2 pitch. Reached on an error Bucky Dent did last time up. And a little soft liner into center field. Mickey Rivers lets it play off the turf here, or off the grass, I'm sorry. And here's Pat Kelly. I still got to find out why this is. It's not the PC, because on the pan around and everything. So something interesting there, Mike, I guess, discovered about Comiskey Park. I always loved these, always loved that look in Comiskey Park. It was so cool looking. All right, here is Pat Kelly. We're back at the top of the order. Bucky Dent aboard, and Pat Kelly, nothing for 2. Count full, struck out last time, and there he goes. Look at that. Yep, Kelly up the ladder, and 10 strikeouts now for Nolan Ryan, another fastball. So Ryan early wasn't hanging the curveball properly, but he's mixing up the curveballs, and they're chasing those out of the strike zone, and the fastballs are just coming in, hissing with absolute venom. All right, Ken Henderson now due up in the box. 0 for 2, the 0-2 pitch. Henderson, hard ground ball to first, but this one will be taken by Mike Epstein unassisted. So Chicago picks up a hit, but that is it. As we go to the top of the 6th inning, this game is official. 3-2, happy first day of spring training. Praise the Lord. Chillin'. Praise the Lord, I say. Frank Robinson, Mike Epstein, Bob Oliver due up. All right, Wilbur Wood to deal. 0-1 pitch. Robinson grounded out his last time up. Oh, diving stop at third. Great play. Bad throw over there at the hot corner. Robinson's going to make second. So Melton makes the great stop, but they're going to score that one, E5. And that's got to be one of the worst things. You make a great play, a great stop defensively, but the throw ends up almost bouncing into the seats. All right, so Bill Melton picks up the error, and that's error number 3 for Chicago White Sox. And Cousin Ken, this is looking like a dead ball game. 4 errors in this game. 3 committed by the White Sox and 1 by the California Angels. So Frank Robinson, courtesy of the E5, is in scoring position. Here's Mike Epstein now. He is nothing for 2. Count even, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Epstein swings, and he drills this deep to right field. And forget the crock pot. I think this one hit, I don't know, it hit that big spaghetti pot she's got hanging up there. So Mike Epstein, a 2-run dinger, 363 feet, and the California Angels is now taking a more commanding 5-2 lead. Let's have a look at that one again. So lots of long ball in this game, and there she blows, Captain. There she blows. All right, and that was a knuckle curve that just hung up there. And Wilbur Wood's day is done. So Skip Pitlock is going to come on to work now. Let's look at the lefties' numbers. So 1970 was the last season he played before 74. So with the San Francisco Giants, 5 wins, 5 losses, 87 innings worked, 48 strikeouts, 48 walks, 56 strikeouts, and a 4.66 earned run average for the Giants in 1970. I'm assuming he spent some time in the minors. Nope. Just there we go. There's his pitching. So yep. So very short career for him. So don't know why he missed those 3 years. But 70 with the Giants, and then pitched in 74, 75 for the White Sox, and that's pretty much all I know about Skip Pitlock. All right. So here we go. Bob Oliver will open it up here in the top of the sixth for the Angels, holding a 5-2 lead. Oliver, Stanton, Rodriguez due up for the Angelics. Lefty deals. 2 for 2 for Bob Oliver, and he gets hit. So Oliver will trundle on down to first, and here's Leroy Stanton. He is nothing for 2. 1-2 pitch. Hard ground ball to third. They're going to turn it here. 5-4-3 double play. So the curveball doing its work there as Stanton grounds into the double play. Brings up Eli Rodriguez now with the bases empty. Count even. Flew out his last time up. And little number to third. Is he going to beat it out? Indeed he will. So we had a couple infield hits in this game too. So Bill Melton will just gobble up that ball. So talking about home runs in this game, each team now with 2. Allen and Melton for the White Sox, and for the California Angels, Epstein and Chalk. Ali Rodriguez, and here comes Dave Chalk now. He'd like to rock it out of here again. 0-1 pitch, but he'll take a hard ground ball up the middle for a base hit. Rodriguez will hold second. 2 on, 2 out here in the top of the 6th inning. Mickey Rivers, nothing for 3. The 1-0 pitch. Rivers hits. Fastball, look out. 2-hit batsman in the inning, and the umpire is going to issue a warning here. All right, Pitlock in a bit of trouble here as Denny Doyle settles into the box. Doyle having a good day today. He is 2 for 3. 1-0 pitch. Swung on, ground ball to short, and he gets out of it. How about that? All right, but the Angels pick up 2 runs on 3 hits, and the Angels leading this one 5-2 as we head to the home half of the 6th inning. Crusader, Pitlock throwing inside like Nolan Ryan. Maybe not quite as intimidating, but we'll see, Crusader. How you doing, man? Good to see you. Thank you, everybody, for stopping in after putting up with me for about 12 or 13 hours yesterday. We won't be doing that again for another year. Anyhow, here's Dick Allen. Be followed by Bill Melton and Carlos May. Dick Allen with a solo shot in this game. 1 for 2. Ahead in the count, 3-1. Dick Allen is just going to watch that one go by, and he's going to earn himself a walk. So second free pass issued by Nolan Ryan, but he has fan 10. Here's Bill Melton now. Melton with a solo shot earlier in this game. 3-1 pitch. This one misses outside, and here we go. The all-time strikeout leader and all-time walks leader now. So 3 walks, 10 strikeouts. Keep the tally going. Here's Carlos May. Nothing for 2, 2 on. Allen a second. Melton trailing at first. 0-2 pitch.
Strike 3.
Big swing and a miss. And there we go. Look at this. What are you going to do with a guy like Nolan Ryan? And 11 strikeouts. All right, 1 away. Here's Ron Santo. Nothing for 2. 3-1 pitch. And Santo, this one, line drive with authority into right field. The play at the plate. And they got him. Oh, my God. Dick Allen thrown out and home. So Leroy Stanton with the assist, and that was a strike. That's going to take the wind out of your sails a little bit there. Let's look at that play just from a regular play-by-play. Yep. By the proverbial country mile, they got him. All right, here's Jorge Orta now. Nothing for 1. 2-1 pitch. Orta swings. Hard hit ground ball. Booted at first. And another error. And the dead ball continues here in 1974. So E3 on Mike Epstein. And they are loaded up for Ed Herman. Ed Herman, nothing for 2. And you know Nolan Ryan not going to play here. Here's the pitch. Swung on. Fly ball. got under it out to medium left, and Bobby Valentine makes the grab. Chicago leaves them sold out. We go to the top of the 7th inning. The Angels leading the White Sox 5-2 here. I believe this is opening day for Chicago in 1974. Bobby Valentine, Frank Robinson, and Mike Epstein due up for California. Pitlock staying in. So Wilbur Wood did not last long in this game. 1-2 pitch. Valentine swings. This one driven down the left field line. And Valentine is going to hold at first. So good job by Carlos May getting to the pill and getting it in quickly. Valentine has pretty decent speed, though. Here's Frank Robinson. Count full. Runner doesn't go. Grounder to short. And this is going to be just a 6-3 double play. How about it? So they double up Robinson at first. A 6-3 double play. I love those. Bucky Dent, good play there. 2 out, bases empty for Mike Epstein. 2 RBI in this game. 1 for 3. Had the 2-run shot. Epstein swings. This will stay in the park rather easily. Just a little arcing shot out there to right. 7th inning stretch time here in Chicago, Illinois, South Side. Fairly near Cabrini Green. And it is 5-2 in favor of the Angels. So, out of the park baseball, I wish they would just add the whole take me out to the ball game, because that sounds so cool. Of course, you can put your own sound files in this, so there we go. Bottom of the 7th now. For California, 5 runs on 10 hits, 2 errors. Chicago White Sox, 2 runs, 4 hits, and 3 errors. So 5 errors in this game. Are we playing in 1901? All right, it's Bucky Dent, Pat Kelly, Ken Henderson due up for the White Sox. Nolan Ryan at 95 pitches right now. Plenty of gas in the tank. Here's the pitch to Bucky Dent. And Dent to Hopper to third. And Bob Oliver's got that little chop job. On to Mike Epstein, 1 away. Pat Kelly, nothing in 3 tries against the Ryan Express. Count full on Pat Kelly. Struck out his last time, and he will not repeat that performance. Soft grounder to short. Close play at first, but they got him. Chalk with a good peg, and that will retire Pat Kelly for the 2nd out of the inning. Ken Henderson, nothing for 3. This game brought to you by Calvert, because it's cheap, and so am I. Count full. And this one, Ryan missing off the plate there. 4th walk issued by Ken Henderson. I don't know if that was an intentional, unintentional walk, but I don't know why you'd want to face the dangerous Dick Allen, who already has a tater in this game. 1-0 pitch. The runner goes. They're not going to get him. The slide, the tag, not in time. So this throw just going, sailing a bit wide. Ellie comes up, cannons it, but off the mark. Got to recalibrate the sights, Ellie. Stolen base for Ken Henderson. Runner in scoring position for the White Sox here with 2 down. 2-0 pitch. Dick Allen swings, grounder to third, and that's a 5-3 putout. That retires the side. Chicago with a walk. They strand a man in scoring position. We go to the top of the 8th inning. Angels 5 and the White Sox 2. And Crusader says in 1974, it would have been Harry Carey. Yes, he was with the White Sox, leading the 7th inning stretch. Appreciate that. Again, I think we associate Harry Carey most closely with the Cubbies, but yep, White Sox announcer Harry Carey. Would have been so much fun if Baseball for Windows, if APA would have asked Harry Carey to pick up where Ernie Harwell left off. Could you imagine? I think that would have been so much fun. All right, it's Bob Oliver, Leroy Stanton, and Ellie Rodriguez due up for the Angels here in the top of the 8th inning. 1-1 pitch on the way. And Oliver swings. This one, Hopper to third. And Melton over to Dick Allen. Here's Leroy Stanton now. Nothing for 3. Skip Pitlock staying in there. He's worked now 2 1/3. Here's the pitch to Stanton, the 1-1 pitch. Fly ball center field, ranging to his left, and making the grab is Henderson. Out there in center field, calling off Pat Kelly. 2 up, 2 down here for the Angels. Brings up Eli Rodriguez. He is 1 for 3. Count full on Rodriguez. Swung on, and lazy fly ball out to right field, and that's a 1-2-3 for the California Angels. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Your score remains California 5, Chicago 2. California scored first in the first. Chicago answered with 2 in the bottom of the first. And then California tallied 2 in the third, 2 in the 6th. So that is your recap thus far. Nolan Ryan will face the number 4, 5, 6 in the lineup here for Chicago White Sox. Melton, May, and Santo. 0-2 pitch on the way. Walked his last time up. Oh! Didn't know what to do with that pitch. Fastball in at the knees. 98 by Nolan Ryan. Strikeout number 12. Carlos May, nothing for 3. And here's the pitch. May swings in the first pitch. This one, line drive to center field, and diving catch out there by Mickey Rivers. Nice play there by Mickey Rivers. So 2 away, bases empty for Ron Santo. Has a hit in 3 tries today. When Maddox lost the no-hitter, you could hear the dejection in Harry's voice. There's a base hit. I wish I could impersonate him. And welcome in, John. How you doing tonight, man? Great to see you. All right, Santo in the box. He's ahead in the count, 3-0. Singled his last time up, and he's going to draw the walk. So 5th walk issued by Nolan Ryan. This one missing just low. All right, Jorge Orta now. Nothing for 2. White Sox need to get busy real fast here, but 2 down. 1-1 pitch to Orta. Reached on an error last time. Base hit to right field. The Chicago Southsiders here not having a lot to cheer about today. The throw to third, the tag, and Santo is safe. Close play out there. Strong throw by Leroy Stanton out there in right field. So runners at the corners for Ed Herman, and Ed Herman's come up a couple times in these situations, not getting anything done. He is a big fat 0 for 3. Nolan Ryan from the stretch, and the 1-2 pitch to Ed Herman, and this one grounded to third, and let's take this off ramp for the 5-4 putout. So the White Sox strand 2. We head to the top of the 9th inning. California looking to spoil the opening day for the White Sox here. It's 5-2. And Skip Pitlock will face Dave Chalk, Mickey Rivers, and Denny Doyle. 2-2 pitch on the way to Dave Chalk. Looks at a called strike 3 curveball in there by Skip Pitlock. So dropping the hammer, and we're back at the top of the order. Mickey Rivers, nothing for 3. The count, 1 ball and 1 strike. And Rivers will get the base hit. Straight up the middle. So Mickey Rivers on for his first time today, and speed on the base paths. Denny Doyle, good day for him, 2 for 4. 1-1 pitch. Doyle sends this one sinking line to the left, but Carlos May makes the grab. 2 down. Rivers gets back to first. It's Bobby Valentine. He's also 2 for 4. 1-2 pitch. Valentine swings. 1 hopper to short, and Dent over to second, and no run, 1 hit, no errors, and a man left. Last chance for the Chicago White Sox in the bottom of the 9th inning, and it's 5-2. The White Sox will have Dent, Kelly, and Henderson. Nolan Ryan looking for the complete game win. 12 strikeouts, 5 walks for the Ryan Express. 1-0 pitch, and Dent hits this one, and just a little flare over short into left field. 6th hit for the White Sox. Here comes Pat Kelly now. Back at the top of the order. He's nothing for 4. Nolan Ryan, full count. Oh, big whiff and a miss. Fastball. Is Ryan slowing down? That one was only 92. 13th strikeout for Nolan Ryan. 1 down. And here's Ken Henderson. He is nothing for 3. And Henderson drills this one into the gap. Way back. And not out of the park. But Henderson coming through clutch, and Mickey Rivers gets the ball back in, and Dent was thinking about home, and they said, no, you don't. Railroad crossing sign. You'll stop right here. 2 in scoring position. Here is Dick Allen. He represents the tying run. Dick Allen with a home run in this game is 1 for 3. Ryan twirling the ball behind his back, looking rather unfazed. From the stretch, 2-2 pitch. Allen swings and fly to right field, and Leroy Stanton makes the grab. Bucky Dent feigned going home, but Leroy Stanton with a strong arm out there in right field. It's up to Bill Melton to try to keep things going here. Melton homered in this game. Nolan Ryan ready to deal the 0-1 pitch to Melton. Swung on, and this one perfectly hit out to right field to Leroy Stanton, and Chicago basically wasting opportunities. Let's look at our game recap. So Angels Hope opening day win bodes well for the season. The 1974 season began for the Chicago White Sox with a loss to the California Angels at Comiskey Park. Final score 5-2, and Nolan Ryan with a fine performance. Indeed, it was. Mike Epstein had a big 2-run homer for the Angels in the top of the 6th inning, with California leading 3-2 and a runner on second. He sized up a knuckle curve from Wilbur Wood of eternal memory, who finished second in the American League and saves with 16 in 1968, and he punished that ball. The result was his first home run of the season, which puts the Angels on top 5-2. So what'll be interesting here is to look the left team or men left on base. So 11 for the Chicago White Sox, leaving them sold out as well. California stranded 7 home runs in this game. Mike Epstein and Dave Chalk for California, and for the Chicago White Sox, Dick Allen and Bill Melton. We did have 2 stolen bases in this game. Denny Doyle with 1 for the Angels, Ken Henderson for the White Sox. Bob Oliver was caught stealing. Errors abounded today. Doyle and Epstein for California, and Kelly, Henderson, and Melton for Chicago. 2 double plays turned in this game. So Melton, Orton, Allen, and then Dent to Allen. Nolan Ryan gets the win. 9 innings, 7 hits, 2 earned runs, 5 walks, 13 strikeouts. Gave up 2 dingers. Wilbur Wood tagged with the loss. 5 innings of work, 5 runs, 3 of those earned. Struck out 3, gave up 2 dingers also. Pitlock, good old Skip, man. Skip worked 3 1/3 innings, gave up 4 hits, struck out 1. Acosta came in, worked 2/3 of an inning. Player of the game should be Nolan Ryan, and indeed it is. So we jump out of that one. No, this is a pure 1974, not a mix of 70 players. This is actual. This is the 1974 season. So pretty weird, man. I haven't done any sort of mix up kind of this team, this team, that era in quite a while, actually. So, all right, we're going to go ahead and we're going to quick play this Red Sox Brewers game, Tiant versus Colborne. I'm sorry. Red Sox 9-2. Tiant with the win, Colborne with the loss, and Tiant with the win. Home runs. It's all Boston, Petrocelli, and Montgomery. Anything else to be done on this opening day? Nope. All right. So good stuff. And we'll read the important message. And I don't want to configure any damn thing. And finish today. And there we go. Let's just see what we have on tap for the next time we visit 1974. So we're going to be following the Pirates in this one, obviously. And you know what? I might just do a doubleheader. Because look at this, man. We got Mets and Phillies, Tom Seaver versus Steve Carlton. So I think I'm going to take the Dwayne Martz attitude and just do the damn game. And there we go. There's some good matchups here for this one, too. Holtzman and Jenkins, pretty good. Tanana and Bonson, I'll take it. Gaylord Perry, Mel Stoudemire, Indians, Yankees. But yeah, all right, we're doing this, man. Mets, Phillies. If anybody hangs around, I appreciate it. And let's play two. Let's play two. Mets and Phillies, two teams that really love one another, right? They really, really, really do. All right. Looking at the starting lineup for the New York Metropolitans. Leading off at third base, Wayne Garrett. Batting second at second, Felix Mian. Batting third, right fielder Legrand Alarage, Rusty Staub. Batting cleanup in left field, Cleon Jones. I'm going to get me a golden retriever, and I'm going to name him Cleon, for Cleon Jones. Batting fifth at first base, John Milner. Batting sixth and catching, Jerry Grody. Batting seventh at center field, Don Hahn. Batting eighth at short, Bud Harrelson. And pitching and batting ninth, Tom Terrific. So it's going to be Seaver and this other left-handed guy for Philadelphia. Indeed. Yep, pretty weird, man. But there he is. Don't know why, but there he is. All right, Dave Cash leading off at second. Batting second at short, Larry Boa. Batting third in center field, Del Unser. Batting cleanup in left field, Greg Luzinski. Batting fifth at first base, Willie Montañez. Batting sixth in right field, Mike Anderson. Batting seventh and catching, Bob Boone. Batting eighth at third base, Michael Jack Schmidt. And pitching and batting ninth, Steve Carlton. We can always fix that if that would make you happier. Cousin Ken, we can definitely do that if you like. But I say let's just play them as they are. Let's just do it. Welcome to Veterans Stadium. I don't think it was falling apart yet in 1974 because it was, only like 3 years old or what have you. And here we go. Steve Carlton on the bump, finishing up his last couple pitches here. I'm not sure with this. I didn't know whether I selected that or not, John, because you can select the actual lineups. I don't remember if I did or not. I just set this up one night on a lark just to mess around with it right after I got it installed on this PC. So I have no idea. Probably not. Probably not, because you're not going to put this guy way down in the 8 hole. So I don't think I did actual lineups. There is still that bit in me that likes to mix things up. So probably not. Because even when I do a replay, it's never really a strict season replay. There we go. We get a chance to look at the live scoreboard here, which is kind of cool. I like that. Luzinski in left, Unser in center, Anderson in right. Around the horn, we got Montañez, Cash, Boa, and Schmidt. Bob Boone behind the plate. Wayne Garrett leading things off here for the Mets in 1973 at 16 home runs, 56 runs batted in. And let's fly around the vet here for a minute. Playing on the carpet. And here is the 3-1 pitch, and this one misses inside. With a fastball, Wayne Garrett draws the leadoff walks. Here's Felix Mian. The vet, many good times there, says Cousin Ken. I'm sure. Swung on. Garrett was off with the pitch. Mian swings. Infield single. So here we go. Garrett, a little hit and run action working there. I'm not sure if the Phillies might have been caught off guard on that. So 2 on. And here comes Rusty Staub. Count 4 on Staub, and this one grounded to second. 4 to 6 to 3. And a great cheer goes up here from the throats of those. And there's your live scoreboard again. And here, so you actually have 2 of them. Pretty cool. All right, here's Cleon Jones now. Cleon Jones. Let's look at Cleon Jones in 1973, 11 home runs. 48 runs batted in, a 260 average for him. Lefty from the stretch in the 2-0 pitch. Jones swings, and little pop out towards short, and that one's going to be Larry Boa. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and a runner left on. We head to the bottom of the first inning. No score. Dave Cash leading it off here for Philadelphia. The first starting defense for the New York Mets. In left field, Cleon Jones. In center, Don Hahn. And in right, Rusty Staub. We go from first to third. John Milner, Felix Mian, Bud Harrelson, Wayne Garrett, Jerry Grody behind the dish. And here is Dave Cash, former Pittsburgh Pirate in 1973 for the Buccos. 2 home runs, 31 runs batted in. All right, Seaver ready to deal. 3-1 pitch on the way to Dave Cash. Dave Cash looks at one off the plate for ball 4. Seaver misses with the fastball. Didn't they play on AstroTurf at that time? Yes. So very little difference. I mean, you could tell by the seats and a few other things, but yeah, these cookie cutter stadiums. This could very well be Riverfront or Three Rivers. I'm so glad these things are gone. All due respect to Ken and the good times he had at the Vet. These cookie cutter stadiums, I don't know. Maybe the lack of personality gave them personality. I'm not sure. All right, Cash aboard with good speed. Here's Larry Boa. So these are the real life lineups. So that's pretty wild. Thanks for checking that, John. Maybe I got lucky and it just picked the real life, because I don't remember if I selected that or not. So I wonder why they had Schmidt batting 8th. What was the deal there, huh? You just don't think of Mike Schmidt. Let's look at his record here in 74, because you don't think of him that far down. No, 36 home runs and 116 ribbies. So it'd be fun to look at Baseball Reference, because you can check lineups all the way through and see if Schmidt was finally moved up to his rightful place. Looks like the same dimensions as the old Oakland Coliseum without all the extra foul territory Oakland has, says Crusader. Welcome in, Professor. Says, saw a few games there at the Vet. So that's wild that he did hit 8th. All right, here's Larry Boa now. Fiery shortstop for the Fightins. The Fightins and the Amazons. Boa gets the bunt down. There we go. The lost artwork. Sacrifice successful. Dave Cash makes it to second base. Schmidt was coming off a year where he struck out 183 times as his first full-time year, and 74's first good season. Let's have another look. Michael Jack Schmidt deserves lots of looks. So 18 homers the year before, 73, and indeed 136 strikeouts, 138 and 74. So, well, you're a power hitter. Now, again, you learn something new. I didn't realize this, guys. Schmidt had some speed in the early days, didn't he? Look at that. 23 steals in 74, 29 in 75. Not too bad. Roughly 50% success rate, as he was caught 12 times in 74. So I did not know that, man. That's pretty cool. Let's look at his expanded batting stats here just for a second. So the isolated power here, pretty significant here, as you might expect. What a great player. The great Michael Jack Schmidt. All right, let's get back to it. Hit below the Mendoza line in 73. Drove baseball fans nuts to see the Yankees on the field in September. So Midlife says that he moved up the lineup quickly. He had to be behind the cookie cutter stadiums. Yeah, so they also did. Yeah, they did. So at least for Three Rivers, I don't know if that was the same for the Vet, but the football field, these are actually movable, and small market teams had these, but just they're gone. This one fell apart, and was falling apart, and they imploded Three Rivers, and I would say Citizens Bank and PNC Park are far superior. Oh, yard lines. I thought it said Yankees. Sorry about that. little bit tired still from yesterday. Here's Del Unser now. And Del Unser in 1973 had 11 dingers and 52 runs batted in. Dave Cash at second. Good speed. 2-2 pitch. Unser swings and base hit past second into center field. Dave Cash will come around the throw to the plate, and he is out of there. He is out of there. Cash turned on the afterburners, but good play out there. Don Hahn, pretty decent arm out there in center to gun down Dave Cash. So base is not empty. Runner erased, I should say, and Del Unser on at first. 2 down for Mr. Greg Luzinski. 1-2 pitch. Luzinski swinging a miss. Strike 3 on a fastball. So the Phillies had 2 base runners. One got gunned down. They almost scored, but it just doesn't quite count. Top of the second here, and we have no score. John Miller, Jerry Grody, Don Hahn due up for the Amazons. Lefty deals, count even, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Milner swings, slow roller to short, and they get Miller by a step and a half. Milner. Say the word, Milner. Here's Jerry Grody now. A 1 pitch to Grody. Popped high on the right-hand side toward first, and down into the glove of Willie Montanez. So 2 up, 2 down here for the Mets. Here's Don Hahn. Count even, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Hahn swings and wrapped to third, and that Schmidt fellow we've been talking about makes the peg across the diamond. New York Mets go in order. We go to the bottom of the second inning. We are scoreless at the vet. Willie Montanez will lead things off here. Seaver deals. Montanez swings in the first pitch, driven into left field. Base hit. Second hit for the Castro Fightin' Phils. Here comes Mike Anderson now. Anderson cuts in the first pitch, soft liner to third. Garrett grabs it for out number 1. So a good play there at the hot corner by Wayne Garrett. Brings up Bob Boone now. Bob Boone shows bunt. You gotta love 70s baseball, baby. So Montanez moves to second on the sacrifice, 2 down, as Seaver now faces Michael Jack Schmidt batting in the 8-hole. 2-2 pitch. Schmidt swing and a miss. That time, Seaver coming with a curveball. No runs are hit, no errors, and runner left on. Buckle up. We may have a pitcher's duel. Top of the third, no score. Need to play the game when Aaron hit .715 in 1974. 8th of April, 1974, if I remember. So Enzo says his favorite team of all time is the 1973 New York Mets. Midlife welcome in, buddy. He says, by today's standards, he wins above replacement. Schmitty should have won 2 or 3 more MVPs. Just what a great player to. Again, I know, man. Here we are looking at, looking at Mike Schmidt here, but just crazy. I mean, look at this. Look at the ratings for speed, for stealing or aggressiveness. So everybody's asking me about out of the park baseball. So I will just say that you're going to see lots of new things. So I just gave you a hint without giving you a hint, if that makes any sense. For batters and pitchers. Getting scientific. All right, here's Bud Harrelson. It'll be Harrelson, Seaver, and Garrett for the Mets. Top of the third, no score. Philadelphia with 2 hits, the Mets with 1. 2-2 pitch on the way to Harrelson. Harrelson swinging a miss. Strike 3. 91 by Steve Carlton. Picks up his first K. We'll see Morgana finally run to the mound to give pitchers hugs. That'd be something, right? All right, here is Tom Terrific. Count full. Seaver shows no plate discipline. I will at least glance up here to see. And I like that. He shows no plate discipline. Second strikeout for Steve Carlton. Back at the top of the order here. And here is Wayne Garrett. Count full. Garrett checks the swing. They appeal to first, or to third. They say he did not go around. 2 walks issued by lefty to accompany his 2 strikeouts. Here's Felix Millan now. 1 for 1, had an infield single on a hit and run play. 0-1 pitch, and this one clean single into right field. And look at this. Turn it on the afterburner. Here is Wayne Garrett. And he is going to be in there as the throw goes offline a bit to the right. So runners at the corners for Rusty Staub. And here we go. Staub is 0 for 1. 0-2 pitch. And Staub clubs this one out to left field, but not enough distance. On his horse is Greg Luzinski. Wills does it. 2 base runners in the inning, but nada for the Metropolitans. We head to the bottom half of the 3rd inning here at Veterans Stadium, Philadelphia, PA. And we have a scoreless tie. You're going to see some cool things coming up in Out of the Park 27. I'm impressed with it so far, from a content creator standpoint especially. All right, Carlton, Cash, and Boa due up for the Fightins. Count full on lefty. Carlton swings, and with authority, line drive to left center field, but Cleon Jones grabs it. Carlton got some good wood on that ball. Thank you, Ernie Harwell. Back at the top of the order now, and here is Dave Cash. 1-0 the count. Cash, grounder to second, and ranging to his right, Felix Millan makes the grab and the toss on to first. 2 down. Here's Larry Boa now. Boa swings, base hit into right field. 3rd hit for Philadelphia in this game. Here's Del Unser. 1 for 1. 1-0, singled his last time up, and there goes Boa, and they got him. So no runs, 1 hits, no errors, and a caught stealing means nobody left on. Top of the 4th, no score. Cleon Jones, John Milner, Jerry Grody due up for the 9 from Queens. Cleon 0 for 1. The 1-2 pitch. Here's the pitch from Carlton. Swing and a miss. 91-mile-an-hour fastball. Jones might have chased a little bit. Carlton with his 3rd strikeout. Here's John Milner now. He is 0 for 1. 0-1 pitch to Milner. Milner swings. Dribble down to 3rd. It gets slowed down, weirdly enough, by the carpet. Maybe a little bit of backspin on that ball. I don't know. Weird English. Anyhow, Montanez takes it for out number 2. Crusader says they were so much more lenient back then regarding others in the field. In comparison, he was at the Diamondbacks Cubs games at the end of June 1998 when Sosa changed Bonds in the juice run. Sosa hit his 20th home run of that month, and when he rounded the bases, 2 fans from below where he was sitting ran out in the field to follow Sosa around the bases, a la Hank Aaron in 1974, and security took both men down. Yeah, it changed, right? Because you look at when the hammer hit number 715, and I mean, people just pouring out. And that's the other thing too, man. At the end of World Series nowadays, you got the cops everywhere. To see people running onto the field, right? Look at, when Maz hit that the 1960 home run and just getting absolutely mobbed by everybody and his brother and 3rd cousin. I guess, I do get why they have to do it, but I don't know, just that kind of exuberance, you miss it. You see somebody winning the World Series in a home field, and there's just cops everywhere, and, I'm sorry, but the old Gatorade thing is just over the head. That doesn't replace jubilant fans on the field to me. All right, Jerry Grody bats with 2 out here in the visitors' half of the 4th inning. Carlton has the sign from Bob Boone. Here is the 1-0 pitch. Grody swings, and this one under the webbing third base under Mike Schmidt's glove, and Jerry Grody aboard. So these teams now tied in hits at 3 apiece. All right, here's Don Hahn with an outfield assist in this game. 0 for 1 at the dish. 1-2 pitch for Hahn. Swing and a miss. Steer right 3. Carlton coming with the fastball. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. Runner left on. Bottom of the 4th in a pitcher's duel. We got twin 3-hitters going on. Dale Unser, Greg Luzinski, Willie Montañez for the Phillies. Tom Seaver into the wind and the 0-1 pitch. Unser swings. This one's going to get to the corner, rattle around, extra bases. Unser is going to have 2. He's going to stop there with a leadoff stand-up double here in the bottom of the 4th here at the Vets. So Unser in scoring position for Greg Luzinski. Let's look at Luzinski's numbers in 1974. So, and let's just look at basic batting. There we go. It's a lot more fun. So Luzinski in a little bit of a power outage here, gentlemen. 85 games. Injury that year for Luzinski. Phil's fans, I don't know. Let me know. 7 home runs, 48 runs batted in. The next year, Luzinski makes a comeback big time with 34 round trippers and 120 ribbies. So was Luzinski hurt in 74? All right, here we go. Nobody out. Chance for the Phils to break this scoreless deadlock. 3-0 pitch. Luzinski will look at ball 4 as fastball just missing inside. Here's Willie Montañez, 1 for 3. Here's the pitch. Montañez swings, and little blooper down in there in right field. That's going to be enough to have them hold Dale Unser at third. So the Phils have him sold out here, and brings up Mike Anderson, who is 0 for 1. And let's look. Anderson in 73 had 28 ribbies. 1-2 pitch. Working out of the stretch is Seaver. This one, little pop to short. And that one is going to be Ken Harrelson. So 1 down. Seaver coming with a changeup that time. It's Bob Boone now. Bases loaded. Tapper back to the mound. Seaver comes home too late, I believe. No, they get Unser. They do get Unser. I thought the runner was in. Pretty damn close play there. So 2 down, and here comes Michael Jack Schmidt. And I know everybody is wanting that big kapow right here. Good game, Bruin. Welcome in, Michael Fisher. Yeah, a lot better than the other one we had, although it was great to watch Nolan Ryan strike out half the south side of Chicago in our last game. Count full to Schmidt. Oh, swing and a miss, strike 3. The Phils leave him loaded. Seaver coming with a 99-mile-an-hour fastball. To the top of the 5th, Seaver versus Carlton. Dual shutouts going. And it would be Harrelson, Seaver, and Garrett due up for the Mets. So, Professor saying June 6th to August 26th for Greg Luzinski. Says, looks like the 60-day DL. Thanks, Clinton. Appreciate you. Because that's a hell of a fall-off there for Luzinski. All right, Harrelson, 0 for 1 to lead it off here in the top of the 5th. 1-2 pitch on the way from Steve Carlton. Swing and a miss. 5th strikeout. Steve Carlton pulling a chain there. Here's Tom Seaver, which the play-by-play up here says showed no discipline at the plate. Will that happen again as he struck out last time? 1-2 pitch. Tom terrific, a little bit more. This one a little roller to short. Bit of a high throw there as Boa gets it on the weird hop and retires Seaver for the out number 2. Back at the top of the order now for the Mets and Wayne Garrett. Count full on Garrett, walked his last time up. Garrett swings, popped high. Third base side, and calling off everybody is Michael Jack Schmidt. 3 up, 3 down. Bottom of the 5th. Neither pitcher asking quarter nor granting. It'll be Carlton, Cash, and Boa. 9-1-2 due up for cousin Ken Castro's Fightins. Here's the pitch. Lefty swinging into the first pitch. Line drive out to center field. And we're going to have to replay this one as this one goes back on Honda, squirts out of his glove. So that's an error. E8. And you don't want the pitcher on in any circumstances. All right, back at the top of the order now, Dave Cash. Do hope that the timing of fielders' throws improves in the animations of the new out-of-the-park baseball, says Crusader, instead of stuff like a fielder holding a ball for a lengthy time while a base runner is moving. I agree. I mean, that's, animation is something that they've, been working on, and, I'm pleased with it. I think that they made some lofty promises about this when this first came about. Because if you remember, it was out of the park 17 or 18. Remember, you still had the little ponds, like little game ponds, Pachisi ponds or whatever. So they said that eventually, what they want to be able to do is capture the animations of players that would be associated with them. So, that Willie Stargell kind of wind up when he stepped in the box. Bob Gibson, sort of that fall off the hill. However, that being said, I don't want them to eventually do a Nomar Garciaparra. My games are already long enough, and we don't need a 4-hour game if we're playing the Red Sox. But I do see that there are some things still hanging around Crusader. You're right. I do see improvements every year, though. So the other thing that's weird is every once in a while, you'll still get that moonwalk down to first base. But to be able to just get things even closely synced, they're doing a fine job. We'd love to see Action PC move away from the scoreboard and move to sprites. Wonder if that'll happen, ever. All right, Tom Terrific deals to Dave Cash. Count 3-0, and he loses Dave Cash. New operation. Cleat caught the turf right at the point of the turf and warning track. So that was Luzinski. All right. Clinton doing the deep research here. 2 on for the Fightins, and here comes Larry Boa, 1 for 1. Carlton at second on the error by Don Hahn in center, and Dave Cash trailing at first. Here's the pitch to Boa. Boa, bouncer back to the mound. Seaver's only play will be to first. Unintentional sacrifice. And the runners move into scoring position. Carlton at third, Cash at second. 1 out. And first base is open. Luzinski waits on deck. 0-2 pitch on the way to Del Unser. And this one out into shallow left field. Just beyond the grass, Ken Harrelson makes the grab. So 2 down. The Phillies could be wasting a golden opportunity here. Again, Luzinski nothing for 1. 0-2 pitch. And they do. Tom Seaver gets the fastball. Strikeout. Philadelphia Phillies leave 2 in scoring position. The error does not come back and bite the Mets in the arcs. Top of the 6th. No score. Felix Mian, Rusty Staub, Cleon Jones, duo. Felix Mian, perfect 2 for 2 today. Digs in against Steve Carlton. Bob Boone sets up the target and the 2-2 pitch. Mian swings, tapper toward third. Hesitation there by Mike Schmidt. Infield hit by Felix Mian. Memory serves, I don't keep the score while I'm going on here, but I do believe Mian, it's his second infield hit of the game. All right, here's Rusty Staub. These pitchers keeping everything on edge here for us. Staub, nothing for 2. 0-1 pitch. And this one goes all the way to the backstop. Wild pitch. Bob Boone gets the ball back, and Felix Mian kind of just smirking out there at second base. All right, Staub back in the box now, and the count full. Lined out to left his last time up. Liner to left, or more of a fly ball to left. And there we go. Luzinski has it. Out number 1. Cleon Jones, nothing for 2. Behind 1 and 2. Checks his swing. They say he went around. So Steve Carlton fans his 6th. Coming through clutch on that one. That was a close call. Here's John Milner now, nothing for 2. 1-1 on Milner. Hard hit ground ball to first. But up with that one is Montañez, and he would take that one 3 unassisted. The Mets get a hit. Strand a man in scoring position. The wild pitch does not hurt the Fightins, and we go to the bottom of the 6th. Still no score. I want to thank everybody for coming in tonight. This is really nice. I frankly didn't expect anybody. So thank you very much. Willie Montañez, Mike Anderson, Bob Boone due up for the representatives of the city of brotherly love. Montañez, perfect 2 for 2 today. Seaver with the 1-0 delivery. Montañez singled back in the 4th. This one wrapped out to center field. It's got some distance and finds a landing pad right into Don Hahn running back on that ball. Good grab. Here's Mike Anderson. Nothing for 2. The count 1-1. Popped to short his last time up. And Anderson swings, and he's going to pop to second this time up as it threatened to go into no man's land. But Mian making the grab out there. Gold glove second baseman. 2 away. Here's Bob Boone. He is nothing for 1. 1-2 pitch on the way. Tap back to the mound last time and strikes out this time. So Philadelphia goes quietly. We head to the top of 7. Still no score. A great pitcher's duel between 2 of the greatest, Steve Carlton and Tom Seaver, and 2 teams that really have so much affection for one another, right? These Mets and Phils. Jerry Grody, Don Hahn, Bud Harrelson due up for the Mets. Carlton, 6 strikeouts, 2 walks through 6. Count even on Jerry Grody, 2-2, and Grody tapper to second. And fielding it cleanly, Dave Cash with an almost nonchalant throw on to Montañez for the 4-3 putout. Don Hahn, nothing for 2 now. Count 3-0 on Hahn, struck out his last time up, and he is going to draw the walk. This one missing a bit low. 92 in the gun there by Carlton. Maybe nibbling a little bit there around Don Hahn as Bud Harrelson in the box now. He is nothing for 2. Count full. Swung on, sinking liner to left, but having him played perfectly is Greg Luzinski. So 2 down, and here's Tom Seaver. 1-0 pitch. Seaver swings, and this one twisting foul on the first base side, and Mike Anderson makes the grab. 7th inning stretch time. Be right back with you guys. Take a slug of water. And you're going to have the bloop part at the end. So this stuff comes in a glass bottle. Voss Artesian Water. So now I'm part Irish, part Italian, and part Artesian. You know, the mighty Artesian people from Artesia. Oh, yeah. They never mastered pizza, though. Never did. So the Romans wiped them off the face of the earth. The great people of Artesia. Rumored to have invented town ball, actually. Michael Jack Schmidt, Steve Carlton, and Dave Cash to face Tom Seaver. Seaver with 5 strikeouts, 3 walks through 6. Bottom 7 here at the vet. Full count on Schmidt, struck out his last time up. Liner out to right field, ranging toward the foul line, making the grab. Rusty Staub. 1 up, 1 down. All right, here's Steve Carlton. Nothing for 2. Carlton swings. This one hit with authority. This one over the head into right field. Carlton going for 2. And he is in there. 1-out double for Steve Carlton. Here we go. To Staub with a strong peg, but rattled around those little bars out there in right field. All right, back at the top of the order now for Dave Cash. Phillies threatening here in the home half of the 7th inning. 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Steer right 3. Slider in there from Tom Terrific. Strikeout number 6. 2 down. And here is Larry Boa. Nothing for 1. Sacrifice bunt last time. This one should end the inning. Popped to short. And down into the glove of Harrelson. The runs 1 hit. No errors. They waste the double. Top of the 8th here at Veterans Stadium. Still no score. Carlton now at 117 pitches. I love 1970s baseball. I really do. It ain't dead ball, but it's damn close. All right, Wayne Garrett, we're at the top of the order. Garrett, Mian, and Staub duo. Count full on Wayne Garrett, who popped out last time up. Check to swing, they appeal, and they say nope. He crossed the plane of no return. 1 down, and we got a pinch hitter now, Ed Kranepool. Ed Kranepool. How'd you do in 1974, Ed? Let's check you out, man. 4 homers, 24 ribbies for Ed Kranepool. Played 94 games that year for the Amazons. And Steve Carlton's day is done. How about that? We got Eddie Watt. Let's check out Eddie Watt. Eddie Watt in his final year. And it'd be better if we actually looked at his pitching. There we go. So his penultimate year. He goes to the Cubs in 1975. So for the Phillies, 1-1 in 1974. 6 saves, a 3.99 earned run average for him. All right. So there we go. Began his career in 1966. Played for the Orioles until 73. The Phils in 74, and those Northsiders in 1975. All right. Pinch hitter and relief pitcher. Here we go. Here's the pitch. Kranepool swings. High fly ball out to left field. Sauntering, if you will, is Greg Luzinski. 2 down. And here's Rusty Staub now. Nothing for 3 for him. Count full on Staub. Flew out to Luzinski last time up. And lazy fly ball out to right field. And Mike Anderson makes the grab. The Mets go in order. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. And I think Out of the Park Baseball is a little upset that I didn't get to it yesterday. So it's going to make us hang to the very end. Midlife tells us that 74 is a great year. Indeed it is. Well balanced, good hitting, a lot of complete games, even bad time had horses into rotation. My Buccos did pretty good in 74. I wanted to pick a year in the 70s that they make to the postseason but not to the World Series. Another fun one, you got to deal with those pesky Phillies, though. When you get into 77, 78. Not that these Phils were so bad then either. All right, Del Unser, Greg Luzinski, Willie Montañez. Tom Seaver stays in the game, so one Hall of Famer out of the game, the other one's still in. Here we go. Unser popped out his last time up, and he's going to do it this time too. Who are you going to call? You're going to call Bud Harrelson, calling off Ted Martinez, who is now playing second for the Mets. Did I miss anything else? I did not. Good. Pinch hitter now, Jay Johnstone will bat here in the cleanup spot. So Mr. Luzinski done for the day. Quick gander here at Jay Johnstone's numbers in 1973 with the Oakland A's. 3 RBI, just 107 average for him. Two-one pitch on the way to Johnstone. Seaver lets it go. Little number to short. Close play at first. Bang, bang play, and they got him. Gold Glover, Bud Harrelson up with that ball quickly. Willie Montanez now. He is 2 for 3, 2 down. 0-1 pitch. Flew out to centers last time up. And wrapped to second. 4-3 ends the inning. We go to the top of the ninth. No score. Eddie Watt will face the 4, 5, 6 of the Mets order. Leon Jones, John Milner, and Jerry Grody. This game is 100 times better than the Super Bowl. So, yeah, so congratulations, Seattle. Seattle winning that one, by the way. So congratulations to them. Yeah. And I've got to say, 1,000 times better. Heard a lot of stuff and actually watched it. Politics aside, the Kid Rock show was really bad, man. I don't know what they were thinking, man, but it doesn't matter. But yeah, this is a hell of a game. Something's got to give, right? Something's got to give. So not sure why they took out Carlton. He still had some gas in the tank. 1-0 pitch on the way. Cleo Jones struck out last time, and hard hit ground ball. One hopper to third. Schmidt up with it. Went up, one down. When we get to the bottom of the ninth for the Philadelphia Phillies, we'll have Anderson Boone and Michael Jack Schmidt. Now, wouldn't it be amazing? The man batting eighth walks it off with a dinger. I wonder. All right, here's John Milner batting with one away. Jerry Grody waits on deck. Milner, 0 for 3 in the game. Count full. Grounded out back in the sixth. He'll take ball 4. Change up missing by Eddie Watt, just a bit inside. Well, I didn't watch either, but even and it wasn't just left-wing media that was talking about that other show they did on the Turning Point thing, but they said it was really bad, and I guess Kid Rock lip-synced and all that kind of stuff. So, Matt, just give me a good old-fashioned 7th inning stretch and I'm happy. Milner on at first, and here he is, Grody, 1 for 3. 0-1 pitch, bounced out his last time up. Grody with a hard bunt. 0-2 on Grody. And this one is going to go all the way to the backstop. And this is a wild pitch. Oh, man. Milner moves into scoring position. They are not happy here in Philadelphia. Welcome in, Nick. You were missed yesterday. He says didn't watch the game, the halftime show, or its alternate, or the commercials. Good on you, Mick. All right, here is Grody now back in the box. And Eddie Watt with a wild pitch. Count full. Swung on. Single liner out there to center field. And Unser has it for the grab. Milner will tag. And he will get into third safely. So 2 down. And we got a pinch hitter now. Ron Hodges for the Mets. Harrelson waits on deck. John Milner just 90 feet away. Hell of a ball game we've had here. 0-4-1 for the Mets. 0-6-0 for the Phils. Eddie Watt rubbing up the ball. Peers in, has the sign from Bob Boone. Batter calls time, steps out. Eddie Watt asks for a new ball. Gets it. Hodges back in. The ump signals to resume play. Count full. Hodges looks at ball 4. So Eddie Watt has issued his second free pass. And brings up Bud Harrelson. 0 for 3. Eddie Watt out of the stretch. A mix of frustration and determination on his face. He looks a little bit like a flattened Ferris Bueller in this picture. 1-2 pitch on the way. Swung on and missed. Big strikeout. Coming with a curveball. Mets leave 2, and we go to the bottom of the 9th inning. Scoreless tie. Pinch hitter Tim Hutton will lead things off, followed by Bob Boone and Michael Jack Schmidt. Let's look at Hutton's numbers for 1973. 5 homers, 29 runs batted in, and a .263 average. 0-1 on the way. Hutton swings. This one into the gap. Oh! And we didn't realize we had a defensive substitution. Dave Schneck making a nice play out there in center field. That deserves a look. So Raging Fart is right. Thought that was a gapper, but what do they say there in football? Too much hang time or something? One away. Bob Boone in the box. Mike Schmidt on deck. Watching Seaver. Seaver at 99 pitches. 0-2 pitch on the way. Boone swings. Popped up right-hand side. Down into the glove of John Milner. 2 down. And striding to the plate. I would say unarguably the greatest third baseman in baseball, Mike Schmidt. Schmidt, nothing to show for anything at the plate today. Nothing for 3. We're going to go pitch by pitch on this one. Grab another slug of water. All right, here we go. Seaver at the side from Grody. Schmidt flew out to right last time up, swung on, and this one foul. All right, 0-1 on Schmidt. Seaver shaking off Grody as one he likes. The 0-1 pitch on the way to Schmidt. And this one hits the outside corner. Nice sinker. So the count goes to no balls, 2 strikes. Grody sets the target for Seaver. And the pitch to Mike Schmidt. Swing and a miss. Stee right free on the fastball. We have extras. Let's turn off pitch by pitch. We go to the top of the 10th. No score. So the Phillies stand with Eddie Watt here. And Tom Seaver, 0 for 3. Leading it off. Flew out to short right his last time up. Seaver swings, and he's going to fly out to right this time with just a little bit more distance. Jay Johnstone with the grab. Tom Hutton will stay in the game and play left field. Back at the top of the order for the Mets and Wayne Garrett. Boone sets the target. Here's the pitch to Wayne Garrett. Garrett sends us out to shallow center, charging in and making the grab on the run, Dale Unser. 2 up, 2 down. Eddie Watt looking for out number 3. Here's Ken Boswell. Pinch hitting, the pitch. Boswell looks at ball 4. So the hammer missing a little bit outside. And here's Rusty Staub now. Nothing, 4-4. Wearing the collar he is, Cousin Ken. 1-2 pitch. Staub swings and a miss. A walk and a man left. Eddie Watt with an easy inning. We head to the bottom of the 10th. And we got a pinch hitter here in Bill Robinson. Bill Robertson, future Pittsburgh Pirate. But in 1973 for him, 25 home runs, 65 runs batted in. Seaver now at 106 pitches. Looking strong out there. Seaver with 7 strikeouts, 3 walks. 0-2 pitch on the way to Bill Robinson. Swing and a miss. Do your right 3. Sinker there by Tom Seaver. That's strikeout number 8. Back at the top of the order for leadoff man Dave Cash. Cash, nothing for 2. Count full. Seaver deals, and he strikes out against Tom Seaver again. 2 up, 2 down for the Fightins, and here is Larry Boa. We're going to pitch by pitch this one too. Seaver winds and deals to Larry Boa. Popped to short in the 7th. Swing and a miss. Fastball. Hitting the corner. Boa trying to reach for it. 0-1 now. Cut on. Tapper past the mound. Boa with great speed is going to make it. Here we go. Larry Boa ripping down the line. Incredible speed. And here's Del Unser. 2 for 4. Are they finally getting some chinks in the armor of Tom Terrific? Pitch count getting up there for Seaver. Here we go. Throw to first. And Boa is back safe. So one of the things I love about playing this pitch by pitch is you do get the throws over. And yeah, it's the way you should play baseball, but we're in a hurry. Throws over again. Not in time. They're trying to keep Larry Boa honest, knowing he has not larceny but grand theft in his heart. Here's the pitch, and there goes Boa, the throw down, and the throw is off the mark. So Boa steals into scoring position. Count 1 ball, no strikes, as lefty Del Unser back in the box now. Seaver studies the sign from Jerry Grody. The pitch. And this one, curveball missing inside. Count goes to 2-0. Unser in the box. The 2-0 from Seaver. Oh, and oh, my goodness. What a great play by Jerry Grody. This one missing up high and away. Grody pouncing on the ball. So Mets heart stopped there for a minute. 3-0 on Unser. Jay Johnstone waits on deck. We kind of saw that one coming. So Johnstone will get the free pass. Or Del Unser will get the free pass for Jay Johnstone, the late hitting Jay Johnstone. Nothing for 1. 2 on for the Phils. Bottom of the 10th. No score. Larry Boa at second. Del Unser at first. The pitch. And this curveball misses inside for ball 1. Grody sets the target again. Seaver with the 1-0 delivery. Seaver, fastball missing. Ball 2. Seaver working him inside. Let's see if he goes outside on this one. Trying to get Johnstone to chase for strike 1. 2-0 pitch. He does go outside. Seeking liner to center. And into the glove of Schneck. The Phils waste 2. We go to the top of 11. No score. No score. No comment. Cleon Jones, nothing for 4. Leading it off. John Milner on deck. Jared Grody in the hole. Tom Underwood will now come on. Eddie Watt did his work. Let's look at Underwood's numbers in 1973 or 74, I guess, actually. So 1-0 with a 4.85 earned run average. All right, Underwood has finished his warm-up pitches. Southpaw ready to go. Cleon Jones, nothing for 4. Count even, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Grounded out his last time up. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Curveball, and that's the 3rd time that Cleon Jones has fanned. One down. Here's John Milner. 3-1 the count. Walked his last time up. Milner popped foul, or popped high in the air in the infield, third base side. Mike Schmidt has it, out number 2. Jerry Grody now. Count even, 2 balls, 2 strikes, flew out to center last time. 1 for 4 for Grody. Hopper, great play by Mike Schmidt, ranging to his left. Weird bounce off the carpet on the infield. 3 up, 3 down for the Mets. We go to the bottom of the 11th. And you can read the scoreboard. Willie Montañez, Tim Hutton, Bob Boone, due up for the Fightins. 0-1 pitch on the way. Montañez, gapper. There we go, all the way to the wall. Willie Montañez going for 2. Slides in, leadoff double. Switcher to pitch by pitch now. Tom Hutton, nothing for 1. Here's the pitch, and they're going to give him the intentional walk. So Seaver's going to work to Bob Boone here, who's nothing for 3. 2 on, nobody out for the Philadelphia Phillies. Bottom of the 11th, no score. Pitch to Boone, swung on. And fly ball out to right field. Staub has it. Tagging and getting to third is Willie Montañez. And here we are. And isn't it what baseball is all about? So many things. But having a legendary player come up and to try to break this amazing deadlock. What a game. What a game this has been. Schmidt, nothing for 4. And to say he's due now is an understatement. Montañez at third. Tom Hutton at first. 1 down. Seaver out of the stretch. Schmidt checks the swing. Basket for the field. Ball 1. Curveball misses there. Good pitch from Seaver. Seaver ready again from the stretch, and the 1-0 pitch to Schmidt. Curveball misses again. Count 2-0. Schmidt steps out of the box, kicks out a little bit of the infield dirt off the spikes, back in. 2-0 pitch. And this one, change up in there, knee high for strike 1. Grape knee high, is that your favorite? I don't know. 2-1 on Mike Schmidt. Here's the pitch. Schmidt swings and fly ball center field. This should be the ball game. The throw to the plate is not in time. The Philadelphia Phillies do it. 1-2 as Willie Montañez will come in to score, and the Phillies, wow, what a game. What a game. What a game. So 1-8-0 for the Philadelphia Phillies. So great opening day for them, and 0-4-1 for the Amazons. Philadelphia Phillies got their 1974 season off and running with a win over the New York Mets at Veterans Stadium. Final score was 1-0 in 11 innings. Philadelphia pitcher Steve Carlton, in particular, had a fine performance. The clutch at bat came in the bottom of the 11th inning when Philadelphia third baseman Mike Schmidt, facing Tom Seaver, had a run-scoring sac fly, giving the Phillies the 1-0 win. And you guys have been here for the duration. So, but how did the 2 Hall of Famers stack up? Well, Seaver fan 9, Carlton fan 7, Eddie Watt with 2 strikeouts, and Underwood picks up the win. So, good Lord. Yep, Guess Schmidt, heck of a game. Thank you, guys. Absolutely. It was a great game. I'm not going to follow that up with anything. So we're going to just leave it there. It doesn't look like my Buccos are playing on this day, but what a great one. And can watch the replay sometime if we have a ball game that's like a real yawner, we'll just put it on the replay and let it go. This would do the complete game. So um, fun, fun, fun. Thank you everybody for coming in. So we had a little doubleheader action. Nolan Ryan with a hell of a performance in the first game against the White Sox, and this one was what we expected. What a great matchup. So thank you to John DFW, to Cousin Ken Castro, to Mick, to Midlife Crisis, to the Professor, to Crusader, to Michael Fisher, who said, good game brewing here. And he got that one absolutely right. Enzo the Picker was with us. Brother Jack Dawson was here at the beginning of the game. And did we catch everybody? I think we did. I think we did. Yes, we did. All right. So until the next time, my wonderful family, we will see you around the batting cage. Good night, everybody.